thank you for joining me today. I'm just gonna go with it. We're gonna do Newcastle's red velvet cake, one of the only relevant recipes in the whole book. But sod it, we're gonna do it. There's quite a lot to it, and I'm not entirely sure why there's cream cheese on it, because personally, I don't think that's what we would do over here in the UK, but we'll roll with it and see what happens. We have a lot of ingredients to get through, so let's have a look. Perfect, so we have half a cup of butter, which makes 120 grams, 2/3 of a cup of vegetable oil, which is 160, 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract slash essence, 1 3/8 cup of sugar, which ended up being 240 plus 6 tablespoons, which I made 315 grams, if that helps. 3 eggs, 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of buttermilk, which was 275 grams. I made it as total. 2 teaspoons of white wine vinegar. We've got red food colouring. Originally this would have been made with like beetroot, that's why it'd be that deep red colour. 2.5 cups of flour, which is hiding in the corner because we have so much of it. That was 600 grams. We've got 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder. That was 80 grams. 2 teaspoons of baking powder and a teaspoon of baking soda, and then we need to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. To begin with, we are combining the butter, oil, vanilla extract and sugar until it forms a creamy light coloured mass. Very good wording. And then we're going to slowly add the eggs until it's a consistency similar to pudding. This is their words, not mine. I've put the oil in here already. I have just microwaved the butter a little bit. It wanted to be room temperature, but it's always better to be just a tiny bit over, I think. Which makes it a bit easier to mix. Vanilla extract and sugar. Okay, and then with another bowl, so when you weigh this out, probably put it in a half decent bowl, we are putting out our buttermilk, the vinegar and red food colouring to make the desired colour. Don't really know how much to add because the cocoa powder is going to change it. Okay, well I think that was probably more than enough. In saying that, it's kind of pink. Might actually add some more. There we go, I think that looks fairly healthy. So it does say in another bowl to combine the flour, cocoa powder, baking soda and salt, and then sift it over. I don't really see the point in putting it in another bowl just to sift it, so we're just gonna sift it all. It should be fine. My only concerns may be the salt because of the type of salt I use, but it should be fine just to throw it in as it is. This is about sort of 3/4 mixed in. We now need to add our buttermilk mix to this one, and then we need to split it between 3 cake trays, cake tins, and get them baking. What I will say is this mixture is very moussey, is probably the best way to put it. It's very aerated and kind of fluffy, which is very weird because it's not like I've had it on the electric whisk going for ages. I haven't, meringued up the eggs or anything. It's a very weird consistency, so I guess we'll see how this goes. It's going in the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. It's um, where are we? 350 Fahrenheit, which translates as 180 degrees Celsius. So I will see when these are out. Perfect. The cakes have had a chance to cool down. They were a little bit lumpy, so I've tried to cut them, but I can't cut straight, so I'll show you. I've had a really bad go at just cutting this side off. Um, Obviously, if you're better than me, just make sure your cakes are straight, well, flat, because obviously you're going to layer them in a minute. To make the cream cheese frosting, it was 275 grams, I think we worked it out as, which was 1 1/8 cups of butter. We need a cup of powdered sugar slash icing sugar, so that's 240 grams, and 14 ounces of cream cheese, which is 336 grams. I think that was about 340 that I've got, so it should be fine. We are then going to, with an electric hand whisk mixer, mix together the butter and sugar until it's light and fluffy, and then we're going to fold in our cream cheese. Now we need to build our cake. I will say this obviously isn't red. I didn't really know what to expect with it because at the end of the day we were putting cocoa powder in it, so it was going to be tingy brown. Um, I really don't think there was any point in putting any more than what I did in either. Because after a while it'll start tainting the taste of the cake as well. But yeah, let's get this built. So we are going to do a layer of cream, cake, and then cover it all the way around on the sides as well. And then we have freeze dried raspberries. I'm just going to crush those up and then we can put them on top as a decoration. I'm gonna be brutally honest, I didn't bother blitzing the dried raspberries because this whole thing is just a bit of a failure. Um, so the cakes aren't red. They are obviously a lot larger than what this photo is implying because the photo makes it look like it's supposed to be half the size. Partly my fault, the cakes aren't all exactly the same size. It may have been better just with 2 layers instead of 3, but it is absolutely massive. I'm tempted to find a different red velvet cake recipe and see if that's any better, because this just looks like a mess and it doesn't look anything like the photo. This is what a slice on its own looks like. Maybe could have done with a bit more frosting in the middle as well. Let me know if you have a go at this because I'm really not impressed. I bake a lot and this is very sad. Yeah, let me know. As always, stay safe and I will see you in the next one.